Hi folks, further to my previous video of my artificial insemination devices for queen bees, I'd like to show you a few other ones that I've developed, all in the prototype stages, with all on the same theme with slightly different makeup and items on them. First let me start with this one, hexagonal base with a plastic cover on top of plywood. This one here is actually a manual injection done by two pieces of K&S tube, which you can buy from the model shops. Inside there, to hold the glass suspended, is believe it or not, it's a castration ring, what the farmers use for the lambs and things. Basically you just put it in the end like that and push down, and it rolls in and holds itself, and it gives a nice rubber cush. That one there fits inside tube within tube and is very precise for the downwards movement. For the other movements, you've got a locking knob at the front there, you just loosen that, and then these two knobs, that one there does the vertical adjustment, this one does lateral movement, which you'll come to on some of the other ones. Same again, standard queen bee holder. This one here is actually a piece of an old biro pen with a narrowing at the top, which is exactly the right size actually. That fits into the base. And again, the queen is narcotized with CO2, which travels in this tube across and then up through this the queen holder itself. Same again, this one's on the same theme, a manual feed in for vertical, and the horizontal and lateral adjustments that are on here, which you can see. This one's got very fine movement, left and right and up and down. Quite pleased with that one. Another one which is manual. This one here it's made predominantly out of plywood. You've got a plywood body here with internals fitted, all made of brass, and the adjustment vertically is done using a rocking lever with a tiny gimbal in there, and a rubber O-ring for the tension. Again, this one's manually operated up and down. And moving on to some other ones, like this one. This one has a ring here to support your hand. Some people apparently in the bee breeding world like to use tweezers to pull the sting back, the queen's sting. This ring here gives you a rest to rest upon until you move it back, whilst you're using the injection, the head unit at the top here. This one is slightly different, being everything's a micrometer drive. This little wheel here raises and lowers the actual needle tube by turning this little wheel, and again the same standard lateral and vertical movements onto two little wheels at the side here, and one at the back for vertical. Very fine movements indeed. Same again inside, everything is mounted with those little rubber orange rings. I've got another one here which is again on a similar theme. Micrometer adjust here, and put it into the light a bit better so you can see it. Micrometer adjustment at the top there on that little wheel, but for going up and down. And again, same again with the two adjusters, left and right, backwards and forwards. And one more, which is, this is the latest one I've done. And the actual manipulators themselves, again you've got the standard ventral hook for the back, And then for the actual sting hook on this one, what I discovered was, because I make jewellery, I have a lot of sterling silver offcuts and sheets. This one's actually made out of sterling silver, and to make the tiny little hole in there, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not, which is 0.2 of a millimetre. It's almost impossible to see it with this camera, I think. That hole in there, oh there we go, you can just see it there. The tiny little hole there is made with a sewing needle. What you do, you nail the silver till it's soft, and then using a tiny little jeweller's hammer or a small engineer's hammer, you tap the needle through the silver itself until you get the size needed. You can just see it there, only just. That's an easy way to make a sting hook holder. Again, ball joints, standard ball joints, and then the two rubber O-rings to hold the inner shaft, hold against the inner shaft by filing the two grooves. What the O-rings actually sit down inside, and that gives you some nice damping effect, so you can move it in any direction without it. You'd have to really knock it like that to make it move. It really holds it still, so you've got good security while the queen's actually in the queen holder. These are all made out of bits and bobs off old tools that I had. This one here's got a lovely knurling on the edge already, so I took advantage of that. This block here is made from a standard piece of bronze drilled, and the shaft here it fits on is off an old marking gauge. So make use of the things that you've got in your bits box. This one, actually you can lock everything in place just by a little nip there, so that when you're feeding up and down, everything is really firm. So they're all on a similar theme, some with manipulators, some using tweezers for the sting, to hold the sting. This one here you can actually adjust backwards and forwards on a gimbal. The CO2 tube would fit onto there, then travel through and then up through the queen holder to put the queen to sleep. So they all work. They're all prototypes. That's what I like to do. I like to build several different variations on the theme, and choose whichever one works the best, and then build one with all the attributes from the previous ones, which is the one here which I showed you earlier. Everything's in situ there, the needle and everything's in. So I'll do a video how to make those needles, how to make these next, and I'll put that up soon. While everybody else is watching Zulu for the third time on Christmas Day, I was outside in the workshop making all these. Took me about 12 days to make all those, and I really enjoyed doing it. It's a little bit cold out there, but there you have it. Queen bee artificial insemination units. They all work. About 90–95%. Nothing's ever 100%, as you know, but each one of these, if you buy them from the well-known makers, you're talking €2,500 minimum each, which each one of these will do. And there's less than £250 worth of materials here, all in. So you can do things if you're determined enough. So like I always say, save your money. Think for yourself. Thank you for looking in. Bye for now.